Well, we all know what a good man Bob was. And this probably won't be like most eulogies you have heard, but more of a story about three young boys, and we're all here today, my brother Kevin and our cousin Bobby, and a young married couple, Bob and Rosie, that developed a friendship that lasted a lifetime. My first memory of Bob was when our whole family had the mumps, and we hired him to milk our cows and do the chores. He would come in for breakfast, and being quite an athlete in the area, I was somewhat awestruck by his mere presence. Later on, he bought a farm down the road from us. Our cousin Bobby's side had to take their cows down the road past Bob and Rosie's to pasture every evening, and my brother Kevin and I usually went with him. How we started stopping in at their place almost every night, I can't recall, but led some great times and memories. You would have thought most people their age would have called their parents and said we were becoming pests, but they always seemed to be happy to see us, and Bob usually had some exciting event or activity for us to participate in. He pitched baseball to us, and we were so proud if we could even touch one because he was a very good pitcher, but he would ease up once in a while so we could hit one. Bobby was a prankster, and the three of us being totally in awe of him and believing every word he said, we were easy targets. He would take us fishing in his old boat in the Black River up to where he grew up, north of Greenwood. One time one of us thought he had a big fish on. Turned out it was a snapping turtle, and he seemed to enjoy that more than if we'd have caught a big muskie. We really enjoyed wrestling with him. Bob was in the Army, and he told us that they all what they called the struggle pit. 10 to 15 guys would get in the pit and start throwing each other out. The last guy out was usually the winner, him. Well, we thought the three of us, maybe we could handle this top guy, and needless to say, our efforts were futile when he had us tied up with knots in a short time. One day we had our BB guns along, and so he said we should have a shooting contest. Now listen closely. He said whoever comes closest to the yard light bulb without hitting it was the winner. Think about it. Well, Bobby sight shot first and hit the bulb the first try and broke it. So the contest was over just like that, and we were kind of disappointed because we wanted a chance to shoot too. Bobby laughed hysterically because he knew he'd pulled another on us. Our dads had Ford tractors, and Bob had a John Deere. He said his John Deere, even with less horsepower, could pull our Ford all over the yard. Well, we couldn't pass up that challenge, so we took our Ford down there and he pulled us all over the yard. Another exciting event, for a lack of anything better to call it, was frog launching. Anyways, he had a bucket of frogs that he used for fishing, and he said they were getting kind of slow, so what he did, he stepped back and he'd put a plank on a cement block, and he'd spin the frog like that to get it dizzy, set it down on the end of the plank, and hit the other end with the post ball. My Lord, did they go up. One day we were visiting with Rosie, and Bob came home from fishing at Jim Falls. He opened the trunk of his car, and there was this huge catfish. What are you going to do with that, we asked. Well, I'm going to put it in the cow tank, Bob said. You're what? Because our perception that any fish out of water was dead. He wiggled it around and said some mumble jumble and said it would be okay. He put it in the tank, and sure enough, it started swimming around. The next time we were fishing in Black River, we caught a bass, and we're going to take this home, and we're going to have fish in our cow tank too. Well, in a short time, the bass was floating around belly up, so we didn't get to raise fish in the tank either. Bob had dogs, and Relentless was a hound dog. And for us, we were used to collies and dogs that looked good and stuff. And Relentless was pretty ugly. But Bob said he was really a really good dog. And he said it was because the roof of his mouth was black. So he opened up the mouth, and sure enough, Relentless's palate was black. And he says, if you ever buy a hound dog, be sure you check the roof of their mouth. Then there was the dog Rags. He was a farm dog, and had a bad habit of chasing cars. And then one day Bob says, well, I gotta teach him a lesson. So he got in the back seat of the car, and I drove, and he had a board. And then we come along, and when Rags came out, Bob swapped one in the snout, and when we turned around and come back, Rags was up under the hay wagon, looked like he lost his best friend. Then Mark came along, and as he got a little older, we started pulling stuff on him. We put him in the swing and spin him around, and then kind of laugh when he'd get out and stagger around for a while because he was busy. One of the first phrases I think Mark ever said was, my dad said, you guys are just full of beans. As time went by and their family grew, I started babysitting for them. One night I fell asleep on the job. When Bob and Rosie came home, Mark and Steve were still up tearing around the house. But they just laughed, but I guess what could you expect for 75 cents? Bob also showed us that if you wanted to get somewhere, you had to do some hard work. Bob, like most of the rest of the neighborhood, my cousin Bob and Kevin and I all went on to work for Carl Littner doing barn building and repair. We replaced many old stone walls, and rarely was there a rock that Bob couldn't lift. It wasn't all work though, we had a great neighborhood. Our dads, Reynolds and John Scythe, along with Bob, his brother Ray, and Dale Horn had one of the best horseshoe pitching teams in the area. And usually a couple of nights a week they practiced at our farmer Dale Horn's. Bob and Ray and I also played softball for Ray and Ann's, and later on I was on the same bowling team with Bob. And we always just had really good times. Later I went to work for Tri-State Beef Breeders, and as luck would have it, I substituted for Bob's technician, Orville Schwartz. Bob always said, if we have a call in the morning, make us the last stop and we can visit and have breakfast. Well, let me tell you, Rosie put on breakfast. We had pancakes and Polish sausage and eggs, and lucky I could go back to work in the afternoon. In the summer, when the kids were home from school, I played baseball and football with their kids, just like he did with us, until Chucky would usually ought to get a bloody nose. Whenever I would see Bob, he was also always interested in what I was doing. I told him I was going to college. Another time I said I was going to Africa with the Peace Corps. The first thing he would always say, well, good for you. And then he'd always ask me, because I saw him a lot more than my brother and cousin, how's Bobby and Kevin doing? And I would say, they're doing this, and and he'd always say, well, good for them. And then it always seemed like he was proud of Bobby, Kevin, and I. And our accomplishments. We were very proud of him and Rosie also. They developed a wonderful farm that Mark and Brett are continuing his legacy with. I felt fortunate that my wife Joyce was able to share in this wonderful relationship. She grew to love them too. Growing up in the 50s was a quieter and gentler time. Neighbors were true to one another, worked, played, and worshiped together, and the kids developed their athletic skills in cow pastures and hay mows. What happened with us three boys and Bobby and Rosie, I doubt could happen today. With all the trappings of our cell phone society, we probably would have ended up on the couch playing video games. I'm glad in the last couple of months, I was able to spend a fair amount of time with Bob. And the last time I saw him, He was in the hospital, and we talked about playing ball and bowling and all the tricks he played on us. And it was so great to hear his laugh one more time, like only a Gregorich can laugh. You've heard it, I'm sure, some of you. To Bob and Rosie's family, your mom and dad were proud of you. So many of the qualities that made your mom and dad so special to us, we see in all of you and all the other Gregoriches that are here too. Looking back on life, our parents, we know have an influence on us. Our friends, siblings, and so on. Clergy like Father Leo and Father Steve give us guidance in our spiritual lives. But looking back, Bob was and always will be my first hero.